Welcome to Carroll Brown Softball Field, the home of the Georgia Highlands Chargers, and today the home of an exhibition matchup between the minority softball prospects and the Atlanta Smoke, a professional fast-pitch team now based in Atlanta, coming from Texas. I am Simone Stanley, joined by our producer, Roy Evans, and the Smoke will start out in the field. So let's go ahead and see who we have out there. In the circle, we have our right-handed pitcher, Billy Kerwood from Delaware. In the infield, we have...
Let's come back to that as they've gotten the batters going here.
So, starting us off, the top of the lineup for minority softball prospects, it is Nene Rowe. She is a center fielder from UCF, and we already saw her make a bunch of plays in our first exhibition game yesterday. So, Nene Rowe is known for her speed, her bat, and, as we saw yesterday, Roy, her glove out there in the field.
Did she? She look, she had that catch that I was like, who was that?
She grounds that out to first for the first out of the inning.
Now batting, number 2, Maddie Hurt.
Which brings up Maddie Hurt. Madison Hurt. She is from Albany State University. She was the fastest player in the MSP HBCU All-Star game just last month. She's been playing first base in this series.
And you know, Simone, we had that controversial call.
Right.
And we were able to get it. Madison did she got the tag out.
Right. She had some close calls yesterday. I saw MSP posted that one. Mm-hmm. And that butt is good. It slips.
That's what that speed
out the hand of Eccles. And so Madison is safe at first. Clearly safe at first.
Right. No question about that one.
Which brings up Isis Tresvik, the utility player from Auburn. And there are 3 players from Auburn's softball program playing today between these two teams. 2 on minority softball prospects and a Tiger on the Atlanta Smoke. In the circle for the Smoke is Billy Kerwood, the right-handed pitcher from Delaware. One count, 1 out.
And they definitely have an eye on Madison. They know she's a runner. She wants to get out and test them to see what she can do.
Right. And like we said, she had some. That one is double play is made.
Yep.
So a quick 3 outs there for MSP. They did get 1 hit in that one. But we are rolling to the bottom of the first where we will see the Atlanta Smoke at bat for the first time today. We're going to step aside on MPTV.
Football fans, HBCU football is back in the ATL with the Cricket MEAC SWAC Challenge Kickoff. Representing the MEAC, North Carolina Central, and representing the SWAC, Southern Eagles, Jaguars, the Marching Sound Machine, the Human Jukebox. The kickoff trophy is up for grabs, and bragging rights are on the line. The rivalry is real. Bring the family and join us pre-game for the fun-filled Coca-Cola fan experience, including band jamborees, food, activations, and fellowship. For tickets and information, visit MEACSWACChallenge.com. Football fans, HBCU football is back in the ATL with the Cricket MEAC SWAC Challenge Kickoff. Representing the MEAC, North Carolina Central, and
Hey, Swaggy here. I want to see you count. Let's do it. Can you count to 10? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Can you count to 10? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1. Let's have some fun. 2. You know what to do. 3. Come sing with me. 4. Let's count some more.
Now batting, number 2.
Welcome back to Georgia Highlands College, the home of a 2-game exhibition series between the Atlanta Smoke, a professional fast pitch team, and the Minority Softball Prospects. We are in the bottom of the first inning, where we will see the Atlanta Smoke at bat for the first time. Bats were hot yesterday, and leading off the bottom is Janae Jefferson, the infielder from Texas for the ATL Smoke. The Atlanta Smoke coming to the city from Texas, so we do see a lot of players on this roster either from Texas or have played college softball at Texas schools, with Janae Jefferson being one of them. We saw a lot of action from her yesterday.
This, Simone, this is going to be some exciting softball to be able to watch. As we've talked about previously, as it relates to softball, we love baseball. But softball is a much more robust sport when it comes to the activity that's happening in it, the things that are going on. Now, I know this is an exhibition, so I don't know if maybe they haven't gotten there yet. I really am looking for the chants. You know that, right? I'm hoping that the chants translate into
Right.
pros.
So far, they've been locked in right now. Haven't heard that many chants.
Right.
But, this is just a warm-up. They're probably still getting those chants together, practicing
Well,
those.
it's spring training. Yeah,
Right.
It's spring training, so.
And in the circle, and that one is going to ground out to first, which brings up Coco Woolley, infielder from Texas A&M for the Atlanta Smoke. So
Now
one out,
batting, number 3, Coco Woolley.
one up, one down, and Coco comes up. In the circle for MSP is Isis Tresvik, right-hander from Auburn. But yes, like we said, Roy, it's early. This is, exhibition, the warm-up, little summer training, summer, spring.
Right.
But we know they are going to bring that flair once the regular season begins.
Indubitably.
But one thing they've already brought is the smoke. We saw the team look so sharp yesterday.
They did.
That one's low. 2-1 count, one out. And this Atlanta Smoke team is owned by Brandon Phillips, a former MLB All-Star. So from player, All-Star at the highest level of the game to now ownership, management, business of this
Yeah,
Atlanta
that.
Smoke team.
There you go.
And the head coach of the Atlanta Smoke is Kat Tarvin. She's also the head coach at Hampton.
And that caught me. I did not realize that.
Yeah, so some HBCU action in the dugout and on the field.
I'm sure she'll consider it the real HU. That's that battle
Right.
between Hampton and Howard universities.
She also coached at North Carolina Central, so well versed with the HBCU softball. And Coco is going to walk to first, which brings up Jada
Now
Cody,
batting, number 17, Jada.
catcher utility from Central Florida. And Coco is like, I'm ready to take off. She's like, we saw the speed from Maddie Hurt. Let me show what I can do on these bases.
That's right. Oh,
The ground is slick because it was storming yesterday and all night.
right.
So the turf is still slick out there.
Yeah, first baseman had a little slip on that. And we can go through the lineup, or the field positions. Oh, no, when we get back, but there we go.
And that one pops up.
All right.
So she pops out
Now
there.
batting, number
Which
4,
brings up Charla Eccles, infielder from Florida.
catch that replay there.
That was Madison Hurt who made that play for the second out. You know, now I'm getting familiar with these hairstyles, you know.
You can tell. You can now tell who it is based on their hairstyle.
I can tell a
got
few
you.
people by their hairstyles now.
I got you.
1-1 count, 2 outs. Still getting familiar with these rosters. And Jada takes off. Charla takes off. And she's going to run into the second baseman a little bit.
So that's going to be, she's going to be safe, I guess.
Yeah, but she's feeling
she's
it.
hurt that one. Let's take a look at that replay.
There was some contact there.
I think I hit the...
We'll see if she
yeah, she's...
has a pinch come in for her. But right now it looks like she's staying put at second. So Charla Eccles at second. Swipes that bag. 2 outs, 2-1 count. In the circle for MSP is Isis Tresvik. And Eccles is going to walk.
Now batting, number 47.
So 2 runners on, 2 outs. That brings up Morgan Howe, the outfielder from Arizona State. And we know this Smoke team made a lot of magic happen yesterday with 2 outs.
Definitely.
And that one flies out to left field for the 3rd out of the inning. So MSP gets, so the Atlanta Smoke will have 2 hits, no runs, and we will head to the 2nd inning. We're going to step aside on MPTV. Welcome back to MPTV. It is a exhibition game between the minority softball prospects and the Atlanta Smoke. Day 2, the final day of this 2-game spring training series. It is the top of the 2nd inning with MSP back at bat. In the circle for the Smoke, Billy Kerwood, the right-handed pitcher from Delaware. At bat now for MSP is KK McCrary, first baseman from Auburn. And in the field for the Smoke, Janae Jefferson, infielder from Texas, Coco Woolley, Texas A&M. At catcher, Jada Cody from Central Florida. Charla Eccles at shortstop. In the field, Morgan Howe from Arizona State, Kiki Milloy from Tennessee, Maddie Grimm from Kent State, Michaela Timmons from Ball State, and Jasmine Hill is our center fielder. That one flies out to right field. So, 1 up, 1 down to start the top of the second for MSP, which will bring up Kasia Parks. Kasia Parks, outfielder from Marshall.
Getting some smooth movements. Everybody's getting in, kind of getting their legs up under them.
Right. Same kind of pace we had yesterday. And that one's going to ground out to first. So 2 up, 2 down quickly. Like we said, the Smoke, they don't play around. Which brings up Lindsey George, the pitcher from Bowie State. MSP now working with 2 outs quickly. And we hear the dugouts getting loud, a lot of chatter. Not a lot of chants today, but a lot of chatter.
A lot of chatter, yep. Folks getting in a little earlier.
Right.
Yesterday we were, well, the day before, and yesterday we were scheduled to play at 6 p.m. Of course, the rain had other plans for that. And now that we've gotten in, it's early in the morning.
Right.
Folks kind of got their, y'all got your coffee on. I see you got your tea. I'm a tea drinker, too. I don't
What kind of
coffee.
tea you drink?
Yeah, I drink Lipton. I drink regular tea.
Oh, just Lipton. I'll drink all kinds of tea. Lipton ain't bad. Big swing and a miss. So 3 up, 3 down. The Atlanta Smoke get out of that inning quickly. So we are headed to the bottom of the second. The Atlanta Smoke back at bat. We are going to step aside on MPTV.
Football fans, HBCU football is back in the ATL with the Cricket MEAC SWAC Challenge Kickoff. Representing the MEAC, North Carolina Central, and representing the SWAC, Southern, Eagles, Jaguars, the Marching Sound Machine, the Human Jukebox. The kickoff trophy is up for grabs, and bragging rights are on the line. The rivalry is real. Bring the family and join us pre-game for the fun-filled Coca-Cola fan experience, including band jamborees, food, activations, and fellowship. For tickets and information, visit MEACSWACchallenge.com. Football fans, HBCU football is back in the ATL with the Cricket MEAC SWAC Challenge.
Welcome back to Carroll Brown Softball Field, the home of a 2-game series spring training exhibition between MSP and the Atlanta Smoke. The Atlanta Smoke, a professional fast pitch team, and MSP, the minority softball prospects. So a team comprised of a few HBCU All-Stars and some other top minority softball prospects that's been scouted by the team. All the players on MSP have exhausted their college eligibility and now are looking for chances on pro rosters, which is why this series is such a big deal, Roy.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. And, the thing that they've got to realize, of course, we are live streaming the game, so these young ladies are not just being seen by the folks here with the Atlanta Smoke. They're also being seen by teams across the leagues that the Atlanta Smoke will be playing. So, those are opportunities. You never know. Somebody might get a phone call or set up at least for a tryout.
We know someone who's been popping out a lot on this MSP team has been Nene Rowe, the outfielder from Central Florida.
So I'm going to probably look to get somebody to come up and give me an explanation of, at the top of the inning, why we have a runner on base. I'm going to assume that this is some sort of training. This is spring training. So
yeah. So that is Janae Jefferson, the infielder from Texas at first. Started the inning at first, and at bat for the Smoke is Kiki Malloy, the outfielder from Tennessee. Maybe somebody will text us or
Yeah. Well,
Because it can't be the
this is the first at bat, so
right. Like
this is some of that training. Again, it's spring training, so I'm sure that there are things that they're working on.
oh, that one gets down at right field. So our runners advance. It's going to be Janae Jefferson coming home, and it's going to be Kiki Malloy at third. So a hit to right field
Now batting, number 51.
is a triple
Maddie
for Kiki
Grimm.
Malloy and brings home Janae Jefferson. So cashing in that runner already.
Free runner. You know.
Which brings up Maddie Grimm, the infielder from Kent State. Kiki Malloy on third. After that RBI triple, brought home Janae Jefferson.
See, I gotta watch Blue, man. Blue down here today. He has a call and then a delayed signal.
Oh, and that pitch is going to hit the catcher, and it's going to bring home Kiki.
Yep.
Kiki Malloy comes home off an error. So two runs scored already in the bottom of the second for the Smoke. And where there's smoke, there's fire. We saw that yesterday. Once they get some momentum.
Well, yeah, they can definitely turn it on and make things happen. You know, we're looking for championship caliber softball here for the ATL. So as that ball is down low, it's going to be a full count.
In the circle for MSP, Isis Tresvik from Auburn. And Grimm is going to walk. So no outs, runner on first, 2 runs already scored for the Smoke in this inning.
Michaela Timmons.
Which brings up Michaela Timmons, the catcher from Ball State. And that one is going to ground out to first. So MSP gets their first out. Runner does advance to second, though. Maddie Grimm is now on second. And now at bat is the center fielder, Jasmine Hill. That one's outside.
No, but he called that a
He
strike.
called it.
See?
Oh,
See? Exactly.
you know,
It
it's,
looked a little outside to me, too. But
it's
you know,
spring training for the umps, too.
Say Blues getting his reps in, huh?
Right. Now that one is low for a ball, so 1-1 count. That one fouls off. 1-2 count. One out, runner on second. Smoke already scored 2 runs in this inning.
They say good eye on that one.
2-2 is our count. Game 2 of 2. Weather is great today. Storms cool things off, but does have the field slick. So Isis gets her first punch out of the series.
Now batting, number 32, McKenna Dowell.
So 2 outs now for the Smoke, which brings up McKenna Dow. McKenna Dow, the infielder from Auburn. So McKenna Dow from Auburn at bat for the Smoke. And in the circle pitching for MSP is Isis Tresvik from Auburn. So tiger on tiger action right here. That one fouls way back. One to the count, 2 outs. Kenna Dow, the infielder from Auburn, battling at bat right now. Runner on second. And that one is going to bring a runner home. So Maddie Grimm comes home.
Now
McKenna
batting
Dow
number
gets to
3,
first
Coco Woolley.
as that ball goes straight down the center. Skips right past the pitcher. So 3 runs for the Atlanta Smoke in this bottom of the second. Which brings up Coco Woolley, the infielder from Texas A&M.
So I've definitely got something I want to talk about. We're going to see, though. I'm going to let us get to about the 3rd or 4th innings before I make an observation. Yeah, just to see a little bit of a strategy here. Again, we're practicing, so everybody's looking.
And that one is, oh no, she slips. Like we said, this ground is still very slick from yesterday. We had a lot of storms yesterday.
Did that go? It went foul.
It went
That's what
foul.
it was. Oh, and she was trying to stop is what she was doing. Yeah, she was trying to stop on that.
Okay. So that was graceful then.
Right. That was on purpose.
Okay.
It wasn't a.
And I believe she was the one who slipped earlier. Am I wrong? Coco?
First base, yeah.
That one is going to ground out to first for the 3rd out of the innings. So the Atlanta Smoke, they score 3 runs in the bottom of the second. They get things going from an RBI triple from Kiki Malloy. And now we are headed to the top of the 3rd inning. Can MSP respond? We're going to find out soon on MPTV.
Football fans, HBCU football is back in the ATL with the Cricket MEAC SWAC Challenge Kickoff. Representing the MEAC, North Carolina Central, and representing the SWAC, Southern, Eagles, Jaguars, the Marching Sound Machine, the Human Jukebox. The kickoff trophy is up for grabs, and bragging rights are on the line. The rivalry is real. Bring the family and join us pre-game for the fun-filled Coca-Cola fan experience, including band jamborees, food, activations, and fellowship. For tickets and information, visit MEACSWACChallenge.com. Football fans, HBCU football is back in the ATL.
Welcome back to Carroll Brown Softball Field, home of a 2-game exhibition series between the minority softball prospects and the Atlanta Smoke. I am Simone Stanley, joined by our producer, Roy Evans. We are at the top of the 3rd, where MSP is back at bat.
Well, I was going to wait. It is the 3rd inning, so that's it. One of the things I was wondering if we were going to see much of is small ball, some bunting, and that's what our batter just came up and decided to do.
We've seen a little bit. I feel like the Smoke, and that one fouls back. Mm-hmm. In the circle for the Smoke is Billy Kerwood, the right-handed pitcher from Delaware.
Yeah, softball is definitely something that is strategy. And actually, that is a different number.
Yes.
Is that? Oh, that's 31.
31 is our pitcher.
Let me see who we've got
Billy
here.
Kerwood. Our batter, number 9, I'm not seeing on the
Oh, you're looking
roster.
at the batter. Okay,
Yes.
gotcha.
So we have a new batter for MSP. Out at first.
Yeah.
Now batting number 13, Taylor Pratt.
So we're definitely going to get someone up here because, as we see, this is
We have an Atlanta Smoke player
batting right for the
batting for MSP. So I'm not going crazy because we have gray and gray uniforms. I got tricked up earlier because I thought I saw a fielder from the Atlanta Smoke fielding with MSP. And I thought I was going crazy earlier, but apparently I'm not. We have a little mixing of the rosters. We'll get some clarity soon. But it's Taylor Craft batting for MSP right now. Taylor Craft, the catcher from Minnesota, the Atlanta Smoke player, in the lineup with MSP. So maybe they're mixing up.
Yeah. Again, this is spring training, so just an opportunity, making sure everybody gets enough work in.
Yeah. I'm just glad I'm not going crazy because earlier I knew I was like, I saw a Smoke jersey making a play in the field when the Smoke was batting. So I was like, okay, this is early for me, but it's just good to know I'm not crazy,
There you go.
So Taylor files that back. Full count.
Battling, yeah.
1 out. One thing, since we're noticing stuff, Roy, they didn't have a runner on. MSP didn't start with a runner on. Remember, the Smoke started with a runner on first. That one fouls
that one off as well, but she's staying in the fight.
Right.
She is definitely a power hitter.
The catcher from Minnesota, Taylor Craft, at bat. And that one flies out to center. Catch is made by her teammate.
Now batting, number 7.
So 2 outs, which brings up Nene Rowe, the outfielder from UCF, from MSP. Working with 2 outs. See if MSP can get some action going here. Wasn't able to score any runs in their game. I'm just so confused with the dates. On Wednesday.
Yes.
We were here yesterday.
We were here yesterday. We did not play yesterday.
So let's see if they can get something going here today. Swing and a miss. So 1-1 count, 2 outs. Nene Rowe, the center fielder from UCF, at bats. There's the sun now.
Yeah, it's coming out. A little cloud cover. There are supposed to be more showers later this afternoon.
Of course.
Here in the Cartersville area.
Yeah, so about 40 minutes outside of Atlanta in Cartersville, Georgia. That pitch right down the gut. 2-2 count. 2 outs.
And I'm going to say it, Deuce is wild.
Billy Kerwood is our pitcher for the Smoke from Delaware. Oh, and that one is going to get past the shortstop for a hit for Nene. So Nene Rowe gets to first.
Maddie Hurt.
Deuces were wild, and we got some action now, which brings up Madison Hurt, the fastest woman alive in HBCU softball. She won that title a few weeks ago at the MSP HBCU All-Star Game. Madison Hurt from Albany State University, our first baseman in this series for MSP.
First pitch is going to be called for strike. Second pitch, ball 1.
1-1 count, 2 outs. Nene on first. Can MSP get some magic going with these 2 outs they're working with?
I know these young
That
ladies.
one fouls off.
Yep, sorry about that. I know these young ladies are really anxious. They want to get something on the board. This game, last game, they were blank. They weren't able to get any scores. They left several people on base. So we know they're definitely looking to try to get in and get some runs scored this game.
Yes, and the Smoke. They were steaming last game. 10 runs scored. Didn't give up a single run. Nene slides all the way to first, but that is the final out. Now this ground is definitely helping with the slides for sure. So that will do it for the top of the third. We're headed to the bottom where we will see the Atlanta Smoke back at bat. We are going to step aside on MPTV.
Football fans, HBCU football is back in the ATL with the Cricket MEAC SWAC Challenge Kickoff. Representing the MEAC, North Carolina Central, and representing the SWAC, Southern, Eagles, Jaguars, the Marching Sound Machine, the Human Jukebox. The kickoff trophy is up for grabs, and bragging rights are on the line. The rivalry is real. Bring the family and join us pre-game for the fun-filled Coca-Cola fan experience, including band jamborees, food, activations, and fellowship. For tickets and information, visit MEACSWACChallenge.com. Football fans.
Welcome back to Carroll Brown Softball Field, the home of Georgia Highlands Chargers softball and the temporary home of this exhibition series between the Atlanta Smoke and the MSP All-Stars. It is the bottom of the third with the Atlanta Smoke back at bat with a 3-run lead over MSP. Still in the circle for MSP is Isis Tresvik, the right-handed pitcher from Auburn. She already has a strikeout in this game. And catching for her is actually going to be the Atlanta Smokes catcher, Michaela Timmons from Ball State. At bat for the Smoke is Jada Cody, the catcher from Central Florida. The sun's starting to poke out a little bit. Maybe can help dry up this field some. It was a downpour yesterday and last night, so the turf is still a little slick. This helped a little bit with some of these slides and dives.
Yeah.
Oh,
what a
right,
catch.
right to the third baseman,
Now,
KK McClary
12, Shaylin Govan.
from Auburn, right on time for the first out. Which brings up Charlotte Eccles, the infielder from Florida. Excuse me. Shaylin Gavin, the infielder from Baylor, is now at bat for the Smoke. A lot of Texas players on this Atlanta Smoke roster because this Atlanta Smoke team is coming from Texas. The franchise moving from Texas to the ATL. And this team is owned by former MLB All-Star Brandon Phillips. And we've seen him at the ballpark every day through this exhibition series. And Gavin is going to walk to first.
Now batting, number 47, Morgan.
Which
Howe.
brings up Morgan Howe, the outfielder from Arizona State. So runner on first is Shaylin Gavin. And Morgan Howe at bat now. Ooh. That one's in for a strike. 0-1 count, and Isis Tresvik, she does have a strikeout already in this game. She's starting to get into her groove. That one a little outside for a ball. So 1-1 is our count. The Atlanta Smoke is coached by Coach Kat Tarvin, who is also the head coach at Hampton University. She also coached at North Carolina Central University, so well-versed in the HBCU coaching and softball landscape. And there's a few HBCU players on this MSP roster, so I'm sure she's familiar with them. As that one grounds out to first. For the second out of the inning, Shaylin Gavin does advance to second, though.
Kiki Malloy.
Which brings up Kiki Malloy, the outfielder from Tennessee.
Now it's not showing up at all, but I don't think it's already in, so let me try something here. All right. I'll text you back to let you know.
So Kiki Malloy batting for the Smoke, and Shaylin Gavin at second. 2 outs. 2 balls. That one was close, but it's going to be in for a ball, so 3-0 count. Isis Tresvik in the circle for the MSP. Right-hander from Auburn. She gets that one in for a strike. So she's going to walk.
Now
So runner on first and second with 2 outs,
Grimm.
which brings up Maddie Grimm, the infielder from Kent State. Swing and a miss. That one fouls back for a strike. So 0-2 count, 2 outs. Isis just needs one more strike here to end this inning. That one is low and outside for a ball, so 1-2 is our count. Runners on first and second. Smoke looking to add on to their lead. Bobbles out the first baseman's hand, but she still makes the play. That is Lindsey George from Bowie State getting the final out. So the Atlanta Smoke goes scoreless in the bottom of the third, but they still have a 3-run lead over MSP, who we'll see batting when we come back for the top of the fourth on MPTV.
HBCU football is back in the ATL with the Cricket MEAC SWAC Challenge Kickoff. Representing the MEAC, North Carolina Central, and representing the SWAC, Southern, Eagles, Jaguars, the Marching Sound Machine, the Human Jukebox. The kickoff trophy is up for grabs, and bragging rights are on the line. The rivalry is real. Bring the family and join us pre-game for the fun-filled Coca-Cola fan experience, including band jamborees, food, activations, and fellowship. For tickets and information, visit MEACSWACChallenge.com.
Montgomery, Alabama.
Football fans, HBCU football is back in the ATL with the Cricket MEAC SWAC Challenge Kickoff. Representing the MEAC, North Carolina Central, and representing the SWAC, Southern, Eagles, Jaguars, the Marching Sound Machine, the Human Jukebox. The kickoff trophy is up for grabs, and bragging rights are on the line. The rivalry...
Welcome back to MPTV, where we are live from Carroll Brown Softball Field, home of the Georgia Highlands Chargers. And for the past 2 days, the home of an exhibition series between the Atlanta Smoke and the MSP All-Stars. The Smoke have a 3-run lead. They got it going in the second inning off an RBI triple from Kiki Malloy. And now MSP is looking to respond in the top of the fourth. It is a new pitcher in the circle for the Atlanta Smoke, Jayla Wright, the right-hander from Duke. She had a strikeout in the first game of this series just 2 days ago. And leading off the top of the fourth for MSP is Isis Tresvik, who just pitched the last 3 innings for the Smoke. Now she's at bat, representing the Auburn Tigers, where she played college softball. First pitch is in for a ball. MSP was shut out in the first game of this series on Wednesday, and are definitely looking to get some action going today. A lot of talent on this MSP roster. All players have exhausted their college eligibility, so they are looking for spots on pro rosters, and we know the game is growing fast. The pro softball game growing fast right now, so a lot of opportunities for these players to play professionally.
Most definitely, I believe there are probably about 2 or 3 leagues that have come up. Of course, there have been several that have, or one at least that has been sanctioned or sponsored in part by Major League Baseball. So we're going to see the different thing, man. But this is, like I said, I've often wondered, why is it taking so long for softball to get into a professional league?
Yeah, because it's so popular in college. So it's never made any sense to me why, it wouldn't take professionally. 2-2 is the count. Swing and a miss. So Jayla Wright comes in and gets a strikeout right off the rip. So 1 up, 1 down, and that is her second strikeout of the series.
I think a lot of folks probably had the thought process that it could run into a similar situation of course, that the WNBA had, where it took a while for it to catch on. But I actually think softball would have a much more easier path to getting fan bases to get engaged and get involved.
KK McCrary, the third baseman from Auburn, is at bat now for MSP. But I agree. I feel like, when we saw the rise with the WNBA, that came soon after a rise in women's college basketball, right? And then it transferred over to the W. But college softball has been huge for a while now. That's why I'm just surprised it hasn't taken professionally.
Yeah, well, it's definitely, I think, one of the big differences with the professional basketball game is I think at that level, people are looking for a lot more athleticism in the game itself because it just moves a lot faster. But I think in softball, you get the comparable athletic ability, of course, as we say, to scale. But, you don't have people doing a lot of dunking throughout the games in women's basketball. But you get home runs here. You get double plays in softball. You get all of the action.
All the explosive plays, yeah. Right,
that makes baseball and, softball what they are. So I think that's one of the things that's definitely going to be of benefit for these softball leagues getting in, and is that as it levels out and they get the players on these good teams and you start creating these rivalries and things of that nature, I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
2-2 is our count, with KK McCrary, the third baseman from Auburn, battling right now for MSP. Jayla Wright in the circle, 2 strikeouts already in this series, looking for a third right now. That one pops out 2 seconds. So, 2 outs,
Now batting.
2 up,
the
2 down.
Cassia Park.
Atlanta Smoke still in that rhythm. Which brings up Cassia Parks, the outfielder from Marshall for MSP. Now staring down at 2 outs. That one fouls off. Oh, 1 count, 2 outs. Game starting to settle in. First 2 innings went by pretty quickly. That one's right down the gut. Oh, said no. Right down the gut for a ball. I think the dugout had the same reaction I did. But you know, it's spring training for the umps and for us as broadcasters, you know. Everybody just warming up right now. That one is in for a strike. So 1-2 count, 2 outs. Cassia Parks, outfielder from Marshall. Batting for MSP in the circle for the Smoke, Jayla Wright. Right-handed pitcher from Duke. What does she have? Swing and a miss. Jayla Wright gets her 3rd strikeout of the series. And it's 3 up, 3 down in the top of the 4th. We're headed to the bottom where the Atlanta Smoke will look to pile onto their lead. We're going to step aside on MPTV.
Football fans, HBCU football is back in the ATL with the Cricket MEAC SWAC Challenge Kickoff. Representing the MEAC, North Carolina Central, and representing the SWAC, Southern, Eagles, Jaguars, the Marching Sound Machine, the Human Jukebox. The kickoff trophy is up for grabs, and bragging rights are on the line. The rivalry is real. Bring the family and join us pre-game for the fun-filled Coca-Cola fan experience, including band jamborees, food, activations, and fellowship. For tickets and information, visit MEACSWACchallenge.com.
Montgomery, Alabama.
football fans. HBCU football is back in the ATL with the
Welcome back to Carroll Brown Softball Field, the home of the Georgia Highlands Chargers softball team, and also the home this summer of the Atlanta Smoke. The Atlanta Smoke, a professional women's fast pitch team, taking on the minority softball prospects in an exhibition series for the past few days. So the minority softball prospects, a team comprised of some of the top minority prospects as scouted by the MP team, and we are live on MPTV. It's Simone Stanley, joined by our producer Roy Evans. Lindsey George at bat for MSP. The pitcher from Bowie State. And it is Jayla Wright still in the circle for the Atlanta Smoke, the right-handed pitcher from Duke. She has 2 strikeouts already in this series. Swing and a miss. So 0-1 is the count. Taking her time with it. Swing and a miss again. So back to back.
Listen, she's putting it, giving her things to see, but they are dropping just under as they cross the plate and causing her to miss. But hey, you just need one to connect.
Right. One hit is all it takes. And she gets it there. So grounds to second.
That's
gonna
safe.
be close, and she's safe.
Yeah.
So what we just said,
yeah,
one hit is all it takes, and
now she's on base. Yeah.
Now batting, number 9, Ty.
Yep, that tie goes to the runner.
So Ty Brown, the shortstop for MSP, now batting. She had a lot of great plays in the field. Last at the bottom of the 4th. Now she's at bat.
That's going to be foul, but there comes this is where the strategy comes in, as we are now in the 5th inning and they want to get some runs on the board. So you're going to give that small ball a shot, see if you can get some of, and of course, with her hitting that, doing that one bunt, that's going to bring the infield in.
Mm-hmm. Ty Brown, the shortstop for MSP. At bat. Run on first is Lindsey George, ready to take off. And she does, but will she get there? No. Got to take the risk sometimes. So Lindsey is out at second for the first out. She's having a convo with the up. I guess he put up the out signal. So they're going to have a, are they going to have a conversation, or are they just going to say she's safe? Well, I guess she convinced him she was safe. So Lindsey is safe at second. And there goes your bunt. But it's foul. So Lindsey George, safe at second. Would you look at that? Ty Brown. Shortstop at bat. In the circle for the Smoke, Jayla Wright, right-handed pitcher from Duke. No outs, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Runner in scoring position.
And 1 run is all it takes to start a rally. She doesn't go that time. 2-2 count.
Listen, that was a close one. She's probably gonna think twice about trying to get over to third.
So
Now,
Jayla Wright gets her
number 2,
3rd strikeout of the series. Right-handed pitcher from Duke, dealing for the Atlanta Smoke. So 1 out, but runner still in scoring position for MSP. Lindsey George from Bowie State as second. Which brings up our batter from the Atlanta Smoke, who is going to be batting in this MSP lineup.
It's Anna. Number 0.
Anna Marie Bruni, outfielder from South Florida, batting now for MSP. And that bunt is fair, and Anna is safe, and so is Lindsey George.
And that's that what I was talking about with that textbook way that came off, and it was definitely how you want to put the button down, as they say.
So Anna Marie Bruni bringing the smoke to MSP. So runners now on the corners for MSP. Lindsey George at third, Anna Marie Bruni at first off that successful bunt. And that's going to be safe. So she's going to be safe at first. Anna Marie safe at third. And a run comes home for MSP. Lindsey George comes home.
Now batting, number 2.
Off a ground ball from Nene. So Nene Rowe hit the ground ball that was able to bring Lindsey home and advance Anna Marie Bruni to third. So MSP is on the board.
On the board, yes ma'am, they are. No shutout this game. Glad the ladies are able to get those points on.
So 1 out.
I might say even though with a little assistance, but hey.
Yeah. A little assistance from Anna Marie Bruni brought the smoke, laid that bunt down, and she's showing her speed around the bases. So that brings up Maddie Hurt from Albany State, first baseman this week for MSP. Swing and a miss there. She is the fastest player in HBCU softball, earned that title last month at the MSP HBCU softball all-star game. She's showing her speed so far in this series.
Yeah.
But now 2 runners in scoring position on second and third. Back-to-back swings, back-to-back misses. Jayla Wright had a conversation with her team in the circle, and she's not going to let too many hits come off her. She already has 3 strikeouts in this game. Right-handed pitcher from Duke. Understanding the situation. This is an exhibition game, but all these ladies are competitors. They all want to win. So Madison strikes out. 3 pitches, 3 strikes from Jayla Wright, which brings up Isis Tresvik, the right-handed pitcher from Auburn. So 2 outs now, 2 runners on, a run already scored in the top of the 5th. MSP definitely wants to add to it.
Let's see if the pitcher can help her own cause here.
That one's in for a strike. So 4 strikes. The last 4 pitches for Jayla Wright. Oh, did she make contact? Nope. So, strike. 0-2 count, 2 outs. Run already scored here for MSP, but they definitely want to add on. They have 2 in scoring position. Definitely want to capitalize. Staring down 2 strikes and 2 outs is Lindsey George, is Isis Tresvik, the right-handed pitcher from Auburn, at bat right now. Jayla Wright in the circle for the smoke. And that one is in for a ball. So Isis stays alive. 1-2 count, 2 outs. 2 runners on. Jayla Wright looking for her 4th strikeout of the series. Isis Tresvik trying to bring some more runners home. 1-2 pitch. In for a ball. Deuces are wild, as Roy would say. 2-2, 2 outs, 2 runners on.
There it is. So apparently this is actually the official one based on AD Drew.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the thing that needs the 2 runners on. I still normally say it without the runners, but that's just me.
So now it's a full count. Full count, 2 outs. 2 runners on for MSP, both in scoring position. Jayla Wright in the circle for the Atlanta Smoke, the right-handed pitcher from Duke, looking for her 4th strikeout of this series. And it's Isis Tresvik at bat for MSP, trying to bring some more runners home, trying to continue this 5th inning rally. And she's going to walk.
So the bases.
So the bases are loaded. Go ahead, Roy. Go into your bases loaded pitch.
I don't have one. Listen, I got deuces wild for my guy Nick Strong, coach down at University of. Is that in South Florida? I can't remember the name of this school, but yeah, I got that from Nick Strong. So I don't know any of the full bases loaded call outs, but hey, it's an opportunity. Get you drop a nice little double in there, score 3 runs.
KK McClary, the 3rd baseman from Auburn, at bat right now for MSP. Bases are loaded. MSP can take the lead for the first time in this series.
With a grand slam. No, not actually with the triple.
That pitch is in for a strike. So 2 strikes, 2 outs. Jayla Wright in the circle for the Smoke, the right-handed pitcher from Duke. She already has 3 strikeouts in this series. She wants more. She's 1 strike away. But MSP, they have the bases loaded with an opportunity to take the lead here for the first time in this series. It's KK McClary, the 3rd baseman, with the opportunity here at bat. And that pitch is on the outside, so 1-2 count. KK staying alive. Jayla Wright trying to contain the situation. Exhibition game here, but all these ladies want to win every time they're on the field.
Always a competitor.
1-2 pitch is on the way. That was close, but says it's a ball, so deuces are wild. 2-2-2.
There we
Bases
go.
are loaded. KK McClary with a chance to do something big for MSP. Jayla Wright in the circle trying to get out of this one. 2-2 pitch on the way. Full count, full bases. MSP with the bases loaded with a full count with KK McClary, the 3rd baseman from Auburn, at bat. Jayla Wright, she already has 3 strikeouts in this series. She wants a 4th right here. 3-2 pitch. And Anna Marie Bruni comes home as KK is walked.
Number 14.
So MSP, 2 runs now in this 5th inning. Anna Marie Bruni, the one who got the rally started with that butt at the top of the 5th, now comes home. So she cashes out on this rally that she started. And KK McClary is walked. So the bases remain loaded for MSP. And of course the Smoke want to talk it over on the mound. So it's Nene Rowe at 3rd for MSP. It's Isis Tresvik at 2nd. And KK McCrary at first. Still 2 outs. And at bat now for MSP, Kazia Parks, the outfielder from Marshall. Can she bring home some more runs? Can she tie this game? Can she help MSP take the lead? Or would Jayla Wright get out of this one without giving up the lead? 1-0 count. 2-0 count. So some consecutive balls for Jayla Wright. She's having a little bit trouble finding the strike zone this inning. She has 3 strikeouts in this series, but has given up 2 runs and 2 walks in this inning. Bases are loaded for Kazia Parks. That one looked like it almost hit her, but regardless, 3 balls. So 3-0 is our count with 2 outs. Bases are loaded. Kazia Parks at bat, trying to cash in some more runs. She has 3 base runners on. The bases are loaded with 2 outs. They're having a conversation here. And Nene is going to come home. Runners are advancing.
So what that sounds like is there must have been a balk called.
So Madison Hurt is at first. So they're going to call that a balk. So Nene comes home to tie the game. Nene Rowe. Madison Hurt is now on first. Kazia Parks still at bat. That one gets to the pitcher, Jayla. The play is made at first. So the Atlanta Smoke in that inning. However, MSP was able to tie it up. It is 3-3, all knotted up, and it all got going from Anna Marie Bruni, who started the rally with the bunt at the top of the 5th. We're headed to the bottom. Can the Atlanta Smoke regain the lead, or will MSP hold them off? We're going to find out on MPTV. Welcome back to Carroll Brown Softball Field, the home of Georgia Highlands Chargers softball, and this summer, the home of the Atlanta Smoke, a professional fast pitch league relocating from Texas to the ATL. It is a exhibition series between MSP and the Atlanta Smoke. MSP brought the Smoke in the top of the 5th inning. They scored 3 runs. The rally got started by Anna Marie Bruni, an outfielder from South Florida who was in the lineup for MSP, but does play for the Smoke. She laid down a bunt that got the rally going. So, MSP has tied up this game, and now the Atlanta Smoke are back at bat, trying to regain the lead. At bat for the Smoke is McKenna Dow, infielder from Auburn. She flies out to center field. In the circle for MSP is Isis Tresvik, the right-handed pitcher from Auburn. So Isis, she's been pitching the whole game so far. She has 1 strikeout already. So 1 out, 1 up, 1 down, which brings up Coco Woolley, the infielder from Texas A&M, at bat for the Smoke. So, yeah, we're about 40 minutes outside of the ATL. That one fouls off. 40 minutes outside of Atlanta in Cartersville, Georgia. A lot of baseball happens out here. A lot of softball happens out here, too.
North of Atlanta.
We're north? What did I say?
No, you said you didn't say.
Oh, I said outside.
of
Yeah,
Atlanta.
yeah.
Just letting folks know this is north of Atlanta.
So that's strange because when I'm coming from Atlanta, I get on south. 85 south.
Well, that's because of where you probably live at. That means you're coming from northeast.
Yeah, I live in North Atlanta. But then I do get on, I think, west.
If you get on 75 at all, you're going north. Coming from Atlanta. There's no other way to get here.
No, because I'm telling you, when I go, there's like a north and there's a south. And I go on south, like the same direction I go to State Farm, Mercedes-Benz, downtown. That's where that same road is where I go on.
What area do you live in?
Brookhaven.
There's absolutely no way that you get out here and you don't go north on 75.
So Coco is going to walk. So what I'm saying is I start out going south, and then I take an exit that's like west or like to Birmingham or whatever.
285.
To Chattanooga.
You take 285 to Birmingham, Chattanooga, correct. It's Birmingham, Chattanooga because you have to then get on 75 north to go to Chattanooga.
Okay, I thought Chattanooga was west though.
It's northwest.
Okay. So see, you left out that west.
Nope, I
Okay,
said that first
Coco
time.
is going to advance to second off a wild pitch.
Because I said you live northeast is what it is. 85 is northeast. Slightly. Because that will take you to Charlotte.
Yes, north would take me to North Carolina because I go there all the time. But yeah, I don't go on north.
From 85.
Yes. But to come out here, like I said, I start out going south.
South, because you have to go down to come back over to get to the highway. That is the thing about the perimeter, as they call it, of Atlanta, which is 285. The perimeter actually, because it's a circle, theoretically goes in all 4 directions, north, south, east, and west.
Yeah, it's very confusing. So, 3-2 is our count, full count. Isis Tresvik on the mound, right-handed pitcher from Auburn for MSP. Jada Cody at bat. Oh, nice play is made by Madison Hurt.
Oh, we know Kim got that one. Let's take a look at that one.
Yes.
That was a great backhand.
So she grounds out to first off an excellent play from the second baseman, Madison Hurt. She twists, spins, backhands the catch, throws a dart to Lindsey George at first base for the out.
We're going to take a look at that one here at the next break as well. So,
which brings up Gavon, Shaylin Gavon, the infielder from Baylor.
all right, second pitch called ball.
So 2 outs. 1-1 is the count.
1-2.
1-2 is the count now. Isis Tresvik in the circle for MSP. Isis has a strikeout in this series. Got it today. Right-handed pitcher from Auburn. And it's Shaylin Gavon, the infielder from Baylor, at the plate. 2-2 count.
Deuces wild.
Deuces are wild. Runner on third in scoring position. Game is all knotted up 3-3. That one flies out to right field. Yes. So that was a quick bottom of the 5th inning. MSP did what they had to do to keep the Smoke from retaking the lead. We're all knotted up 3-3 in this exhibition series between MSP and the Atlanta Smoke. The top of the 6th coming next on MPTV.
Football fans, HBCU football is back in the ATL with the Cricket MEAC SWAC Challenge Kickoff. Representing the MEAC, North Carolina Central, and representing the SWAC, Southern, Eagles, Jaguars, the Marching Sound Machine, the Human Jukebox. The kickoff trophy is up for grabs, and bragging rights are on the line. The rivalry is real. Bring the family and join us pre-game for the fun-filled Coca-Cola fan experience, including band jamborees, food, activations, and fellowship. For tickets and information, visit MEACSWACChallenge.com. Football fans, HBCU football is back in the ATL with the Cricket MEAC SWAC Challenge Kickoff. Representing the MEAC, North Carolina Central, and representing the SWAC, Southern, Eagles, Jaguars, the Marching Sound Machine, the Human Jukebox. The kickoff trophy is up for grabs, and bragging rights are on the line. The rivalry is real. Bring the family and join us pre-game for the fun-filled Coca-Cola fan experience, including band jamborees, food, activations, and fellowship. For tickets and information, visit MEACSWACChallenge.com.
Montgomery, Alabama. Too much to do to just drive through. Home to World.
Welcome back to Cartersville, Georgia. Carroll Brown Softball Field, the home of the Atlanta Smoke this summer. The Atlanta Smoke, a professional fast-pitch team, relocated from Texas to the ATL.
Give it a little bit more specificity, I believe is the word, for the folks. They were in Austin, Texas.
Okay, so from the A to the A.
To the other A, yeah.
From the A to the A. They are taking on MSP in a exhibition series. This is game 2 and the last game of this series. MSP, the Minority Softball Prospects. So a team comprised of the top minority softball prospects as scouted by the MP team. So in the circle now for the Smoke is Autumn Pease. Autumn Pease, right-handed pitcher from Minnesota. Autumn had 4 strikeouts. 4 strikeouts in game 1 of this series on Wednesday. And this is her first appearance in the circle today. She's pitching against Lindsey George, who is leading off the top of the 6th for MSP. Lindsey George, the pitcher from Bowie State. So we're all knotted up 3-3.
Isis out because Isis was the other pitcher, correct?
Yes. So Lindsey George is our pitcher from Bowie, who's at bat right now. Was at bat.
Yep, first.
So Autumn Pease gets her 5th strikeout of the series. First strikeout of the day.
Number 9. Did you ever get her number? It was Kyle
Yes.
Brown.
Ty Brown.
Ty Brown.
Ty Brown, shortstop. Ty has made a lot of plays in the field today. Put up a lot of highlights. That one fouls back. And Autumn Pease. Oh my goodness. If I was to award an MVP of this spring training series, it would be Autumn. Autumn bringing the heat in the summertime.
Well, I was about to say she is bringing the proverbial smoke with some of these pitches that she's dropping in.
So Ty, she's safe at first. So she hits a ground ball to third,
Number
but
5,
that speed
Mason.
kept her safe. So now batting for MSP is an Atlanta Smoke member. So we've seen a couple of Smoke members join the lineup for MSP. This time it is Elizabeth Mason, the catcher from Florida State University. So mixing it up a little bit.
Making sure everybody gets a chance to bat, and then they're getting some competition, getting some practice against
Right.
some of the professional competition as well.
Some networking too, you know. Networking in the dugout. Some familiar faces joining each other. There's a couple of players from MSP that played college ball with some players from Atlanta Smoke. So some reunions here. We have 3 players from Auburn in this game. 2 on MSP, 1 on the Smoke. So a lot of familiar faces.
That are swinging on that one. For strike 2.
So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Autumn Pease not keeping it nice against her teammate, Elizabeth Mason. That one fouls back. So runner on first. 1 out, 1-2 count. Oh, great grab and great throw for the, won't be a double play, but Ty will be out as second.
Now batting, number 7, Nene Rowe.
So, play is made at second for the second out. That was Shaylin Gavon, second baseman, connecting with Coco Woolley for that out at second. But Elizabeth Mason is safe at first. 2 outs. Swing and a miss there for Nene Rowe, our batter from UCF and the center fielder for MSP. So 0-2 count, 2 outs. Autumn Pease has 5 strikeouts in this series. Right-handed pitcher from Minnesota.
And that one goes foul. She stays in, keeps battling.
And that one is going to be caught. So the third out is caught by Anna Marie Bruni, the outfielder from South Florida. So Anna Marie Bruni was in the lineup for MSP in the 5th inning, got the rally going for MSP in the 5th inning, but then she rejoins her Smoke team in the field and catches the last out. So MSP will head back to the dugout. We are going to head to the bottom of the 6th inning. We're still all tied up. The Atlanta Smoke are back at bat soon. We're going to step aside on MPTV. Welcome back to Carroll Brown Softball Field, the home this summer of the Atlanta Smoke. Coming from Austin, Texas to Atlanta, Georgia. They are a professional fast pitch team. They are taking on MSP in a 2-game exhibition series. So this is the final game on Wednesday. The Atlanta Smoke won 10-0. Today we're all tied up in the bottom of the 6th at 3. So the Atlanta Smoke are back at bat. They are trying to regain their lead. And at bat for them is Elizabeth Mason, the catcher from Florida State University. Holding down the circle for MSP, she's been there all game, Isis Tresvik, the right-handed pitcher from Auburn. She has 1 strikeout in this game already. So, the Atlanta Smoke, they got it going in the bottom of the 2nd inning. It was an RBI triple from Kiki Malloy that got their rally going. And then, for MSP, in the top of the 5th, their rally got started by Anna Marie Bruni. Anna Marie Bruni, who plays for the Atlanta Smoke in left field, was in the lineup for MSP. She got things going for them. So now we're all knotted up at 3.
Okay, I was about to say he did call that a strike, didn't he? I'm like, I did not see his signal.
So full count now. That one is down in left field. So Elizabeth Mason gets to first. And even in the field, we have some Atlanta Smoke players fielding with MSP. So I'm not a crazy woman. I'm not a mad woman. I was so close to thinking I was crazy this morning because I could have sworn I saw a Smoke player catching it out whilst the Smoke were at bat. And that one is down in right field. So runners will advance. Will she get home safe? So Elizabeth Mason is safe off a RBI triple off of Kiki Malloy, the outfielder from Tennessee. Smacked that one down right field. Made her way to 3rd and brought home her teammate Elizabeth Mason. Which brings up our next batter for the Smoke. Cilantran Espinoza. Espinoza, the infielder from Washington.
I believe that's Espinoza.
There's 2 I's. There's no O.
Is that how? So I had it written down a different way. It was
maybe you or I. Oh, yeah. Yes, it does have O. Espinoza. So Espinoza is making her first appearance in this series. So this is her first at-bat of this 2-game series, coming in the bottom of the 6th. So the Atlanta Smoke regained the lead.
And what was the first name that you had?
Cilantran.
Silent Rain. And maybe it's pronounced that way because that's the way I read it when I was looking at it on the thing. I was wondering, and I definitely want to find out from the team.
That's why I just kept it Espinoza, you know? She finds that gap there in left field. So Malloy comes home. Kiki Malloy comes home for the 2nd run of the inning. So now the Smoke are up 5-3. And she's brought home off that single by Espinoza.
And we will definitely get that. See, as someone who is dyslexic, I say things phonetically. I say them just like I read them. First pitch, a strike.
So at bat now for the Smoke, Taylor Kraft, catcher from Minnesota. Espinoza on first, no outs. And that one gets just over the first baseman, Lindsey George, and Kraft is going to retreat back to first. Now runners are on the corners. Kraft at first, Espinoza at 3rd. That ball soared just over Lindsey George's glove and was enough to advance Espinoza to 3rd. And they're going to have a conversation on the mound. MSP will. as the Atlanta Smoke have runners on the corners with no outs, with 2 runs already scored in this inning, and we are going to step aside on. Oh, we will not step aside on MPTV. So a pinch runner will come in for Kraft. It is Morgan Howe. And Roy's going to try to rub something in my face.
I am not going to try to rub anything in your face. I'm just smiling because I don't feel crazy now. So, Miss Espinoza, her name is Silent Rain Espinoza.
Okay, I love that.
Yeah, that is definitely that is the first time I've ever heard that name before.
So, Silent Rain is not in the game anymore because a pinch runner came in for her, Morgan Howe, who's now at first.
2 balls.
And now at bat is Anna Marie Bruni, the outfielder from South Florida.
Never did get to run Anna Marie's graphic for her batting, but there she is.
Runners on the corners. No outs, 3 balls. That pitch is in for a strike, so 3-1 count. The MSP needed that. Isis Tresvik in the circle, having a little bit of trouble in this inning, but she does have a strikeout already in this game, the right-handed pitcher from Auburn. And that pitch is in for a ball. So the bases will be loaded for the Atlanta Smoke.
Now batting, number 32, McKenna Dow.
While McKenna Dow now comes up to bat, the infielder from Auburn. So bases are loaded with no outs. The Atlanta Smoke with a 5-3 lead over MSP. And now, I believe Isis Tresvik will be done pitching for the day. She pitched 6 innings, 5.5 innings so far. And now it'll be Lindsey George coming from first base to the circle. So she will warm up and we will step aside on MPTV.
Legacy of Montgomery.
Football fans, HBCU football is back in the ATL with the Cricket MEAC SWAC Challenge Kickoff. Representing the MEAC, North Carolina Central, and representing the SWAC, Southern, Eagles, Jaguars, the Marching Sound Machine, the Human Jukebox. The kickoff trophy is up for grabs, and bragging rights are on the line. The rivalry is real. Bring the family and join us pre-game for the fun-filled Coca-Cola fan experience, including band jamborees, food, activations, and fellowship. For tickets and information, visit MEACSWACchallenge.com. Football fans, HBCU football is back in the ATL with the Cricket MEAC SWAC Challenge Kickoff. Representing the MEAC, North Carolina Central, and representing the SWAC, Southern, Eagles, Jaguars, the Marching Sound Machine, the Human Jukebox. The kickoff trophy is up for grabs, and bragging rights are on the line. The rivalry is real. Bring the family and join us pre-game for the fun-filled Coca-Cola fan experience, including band jamborees, food, activations, and fellowship. For tickets and information, visit MEACSWACChallenge.com.
Montgomery, Alabama.
Welcome back to MPTV as we bring you inside Carroll Brown softball field, the summer home of the Atlanta Smoke, a professional fast pitch team now in the ATL. They have a 3-run lead over MSP as they take on MSP in a 2-game exhibition series. It is Madison Hurt at bat for MSP leading off the top of the 7th. And in the circle for the Smoke is Autumn Pease, the right-handed pitcher from Minnesota. Autumn Pease has 5 strikeouts this series, and she has 1 in this game so far. Roy, I think you got a nugget for us?
We do. Kim, our Kim person down there, was letting us know that Isis, who's the pitcher for the majority of this game, this was her first time pitching during the series in 3 years.
Wow. And she had a strikeout this series. Play is made by the third baseman. So, first out of the inning, which brings up our girl, Isis Tresvik.
Yep.
So, Isis pitched 5.5 innings today. She had a strikeout. And as you were saying, Roy, this series was her first time pitching in 3 years.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's crazy. I was a little bit surprised because when I got the lineup, I didn't see pitcher anywhere. So when she started pitching, I was like, oh, I just saw her in the field and she was just listed as a fielder. So I was surprised there. But 0-1 is the count, 1 out. 0-2 is the count, 1 out. And Autumn Pease, we've talked about her, 5 strikeouts so far this series. She has been dealing darts on the stripe. So, Isis is punched out, and that is the 6th strikeout now for Autumn Pease. This is spring training. This is the warm-up, and I think it's safe to say Miss Autumn is ready for the season.
She looks to be ready, so yeah.
Which brings up KK McCleary, the third baseman from Auburn, staring down 2 outs. So that pitch was high. 1-0 is the count. It's been a great 2 days of softball here at Carroll Brown Field. That one fouls off. And you can't end a series without the ball hitting tin roof. So we got it all now.
Yeah, we did. We actually had one of those.
We've had the rain delay. We had a rain cancellation. You can't have summer ball without that. Ball hitting tin roof. We had a homer yesterday. 3-run home run. We had a little bit of everything, except for the chance.
No chance. Yeah. Yeah.
We've had some great plays in the field, some successful bunts, showing off everything in this spring training game. So 2-1 count, 2 outs for KK. And that one's going to be down in right field. So KK, she's headed to second where she will stop safe. So she found that gap. It got down in right field. And so KK with the double. Oh, KK.
Going back to your Morehouse calling. That's what that is.
Which brings up our next batter for MSP, Kajia Parks, outfielder from Marshall. And this MSP team, they have players from all conferences, all different cities, all different states. We have Bowie State, Alcorn, Albany State, North Carolina Central representing the HBCUs, 2 players from Auburn, a player from UGA, UCF. Marshall, Wolford, Georgia Gwinnett, all types of representation. That one fouls off for a strike, so 0-2 count, 2 outs. Autumn Pease looking for another strikeout. She has 6 already in the circle this series for the Atlanta Smoke, and she definitely brings the smoke, the fire, everything. Let's see what she has here for Kajia Parks. And she has a ball. So 2-2 is the count. 1-2 is the count. Runner on second. Runner on second is KK McCrary. At bat, Kajia Parks. Fouls that back. 1-2 remains the count. Autumn Pease looking to hold off MSP for the second game in this series. The Smoke took game 1. Autumn Pease had a lot to do with that. She had 4 strikeouts in game 1. Swing and a miss. So Autumn Pease gets her 7th punch out of the series. The right-handed pitcher from Minnesota.
Looks like, let's see, are we wrapping this up or are they going to?
Looks like they're going to talk it over. Our Vice President of MSP, Cam Hollins, trotting out on the field. Looks like he's about to make a decision on are we going to play.
No, they're going up to bat. So, yeah, they're going out in the field.
All right, well, we're going to play out the bottom of the 7th, which will be coming next on MPTV.
Too much to do to just
Welcome back to MPTV. We are live from Carroll Brown Softball Field, the home of the Georgia Highlands Chargers, and also the summer home of the Atlanta Smoke, a professional fast-pitch league relocating from Austin, Texas, to the ATL, bringing pro softball to the city. I'm Simone Stanley, joined by our producer, Roy Evans, and we are in the bottom of the 7th. The Smoke already basically won this game 6-3, but we are batting out the bottom of the 7th regardless because it's spring training. Everybody want to get loose. Everybody want their at-bats. So at-bat now for the Smoke is Jasmine Hill, the center fielder. And in the circle for MSP is Lindsey George, the pitcher from Bowie State. Lindsey George was holding down first base before she came into the circle midway through the 6th inning. She made a lot of plays at first base earlier today. But now she is in the big circle, looking to close out this game without giving up any more runs to the Smoke. So the Smoke are a professional fast pitch league, MSP, the minority softball prospects. Oh, wow, great grab in right field. So the fly out is made. Good grief, Kajia Parks. The outfielder from Marshall makes an incredible snag for the first out of the 7th inning. Good grief. So, like I was saying, this MSP team, these are some of the top minority prospects as scouted by the MP team. And Kazia is just showing why this game is even happening, this exhibition game between the Smoke and MSP. The Smoke are a professional team, but MSP, they are players who have exhausted their college eligibility and are now trying to get pro looks. And that is how you get a pro look.
Showing that glove. That's right.
So, we've been talking about it. It's been a lot of action between these two games. That one fouls back for the second strike, and it is Shaylin Govin, the infielder from Baylor, now at bat. Lot of action, Roy. Lot of action in these two games. That's how you wake us up, you know what I mean? Because it's in the morning. It's Friday. It's the end of the week. But plays like that, that'll keep you awake.
Definitely will. Keep you on your P's and Q's.
And speaking of P's, who I would say would be the MVP of this series, Autumn Pease, the right-handed pitcher from Minnesota for the Smoke. She has 7 strikeouts in this series. So, Govin flies out
Number 0, Anne-Marie
for the second out. So, Anne-Marie Bruni, the outfielder from South Florida, she's at bat staring down 2 outs, but she's a playmaker regardless. She got things going for MSP when she joined their lineup in the top of the 5th inning. Started their rally going when she laid down a bunt that brought a runner home and got some momentum going for MSP. So Anna-Marie Bruni, a playmaker, and then she had a great catch in left field. She had a great catch. I believe that was the 6th inning. So Anna-Marie Bruni doing it in the field, doing it at bat, just doing it everywhere.
Ball's low and outside.
So 1-0 is the count, 2 outs. Lindsey George in the circle for MSP. Pitcher from Bowie State. Good is what they're saying, but it's going to be about.
It's a little high, yeah.
You know, I got to listen to everything because Ump won't always give me. There goes another bunt. She did that earlier today, and does she do it again? Yes, she's safe again. Yeah. That's her move. We talked about it. She did it in the top of the 5th, laid down basically identical bunt, just a few inches in front of her, just enough to bring everyone up, get them scrambling, and get her safe. So we're learning a lot about these players over these last 2 games.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to finding out more about the team and everything that they've got going on.
Michaela Timmons, the catcher from Ball State, is now at bat. And that one is down in right field. So Anna advances to 3rd, and Michaela Timmons safe at 1st. So runners on the corners, 2 outs. Which brings up Taylor Kraft, catcher from Minnesota.
Now batting, number 13, Taylor Kraft.
That one down the gut for a strike. So 0-1 count, 2 outs, runners on the corners. This is the final frame of this 2-game exhibition between MSP and the Smoke. And Michaela's going to take off. And Anna-Marie Bruni comes home. So Michaela Timmons snags 2nd. Anna-Marie Bruni comes home. So the Smoke put up another run in the bottom of the 7th. So 7-3 now is the score. 2 outs. Runner on 2nd. Kraft at bat. That one in for a strike. 1-2 count, 2 outs. Lindsey George in the big circle for the Sassies of MSP. And that one straight up the gut of center. And Michaela is Safe. Michaela Timmons comes home. Kraft safe at second. Sends that one right to the Bronco in center field. That brings up Dow. McKenna Dow, the infielder from Auburn. 2 outs, runner on second. One 0 count. That one right down the middle. 1-1 count. 2 outs. Runner on second. McKenna Dow at bat. The final frame. That one's low for a ball. 2-1 count. 2 outs. Pulls the bat back. Well, no, she doesn't. 2-2 count. 2 outs. Deuce is wild.
Fu theater. With the ref.
Oh, see, I don't even know what you're referencing. That one's low. Full count. 3-2 with 2 outs. Runner on second. 8-3 lead for the Smoke. They're taking this one regardless. But you can never have too many runs scored. She fouls that one back to the batting cages. Full count, 2 outs, runner on second. McKenna Dow at bat.
That should have been a...
That should have been, yeah.
That should have been a strike.
Yeah.
That was... We're not going to argue with Blue today.
Kiki Malloy now at bat. 2 runners on, 2 outs. Yeah. Just enjoying the weather. He just want to be out here a little longer.
Right. That I'm going to tend to agree with you on that one.
That's why I'm like, I can't say nothing. I just have to wait for his call because you just never know. Never know with this one. 2-0 the count. 2 outs. Runner on first and second. Kiki Malloy at bat for the Smoke. There we go. Strike. Deuces. They're wilding out right now. Pitches in for a strike. 2 outs. 2 runners on. A true wild deuce. Let's see if this pitch could end the game. Fouls back. Kiki Malloy still battling for the Smoke. Smoke 8-3 lead right now, but they're looking to add to it. She sends that one up right field, and it's down. It's out of here. So, a 3-run bomb for Kiki Malloy. So, Kiki comes home working with 2 outs, but the deuces were wild, and she was wilding out.
Now batting, number 21.
So, Atlanta Smoke stays alive. 11-3 lead now, bringing up Silent Rain Espinoza. Still 2 outs. That one right down the middle. 0-1 is the count. 2 outs. Lindsey George in the circle trying to end this game. 1-1 count. Solid Rain Espinoza at bat. The infielder from Washington fouls that one off. Fouls off a dart. Heads up. So 1-2 is the count. 2 outs. Lindsey George. 1-2 count. 2 outs. Fouls that one back again. She's looking to smoke one just like her teammate did. Kiki Milroy just had a 3-run bomb. And now Solid Rain Espinoza says, I want one myself before we end this spring training. 2-2, the count, 2 outs. Lindsey George in the circle, trying to end this. The out one pops out. Yes, the play is made by Nene Rowe. So that'll do it for the 2-game series between MSP and the Atlanta Smoke. The Atlanta Smoke took game 1 10-0. They take game 2 11-3. But it's just a spring training series. Everybody is warmed up. They're ready to go for the season. This has been a production on MPTV. I am Simone Stanley for our producer Roy Evans. We will see y'all next time.